Good morning, everyone. It is 10 o'clock, so we will go ahead and get started. If you would, please take a moment to introduce yourself in the chat below. I don't have any chat stream coming through to my phone right now, so why don't we go ahead and test that? If you're logged on, and I have a few people that show that they're logged on, go ahead and type a quick comment in the chat so I can see if the chat is responding. And we'll give everybody another minute or two to get logged in, and then we will start our presentation. Okay, well, I still don't see anything coming through on the chat, but I'm going to go ahead and start the presentation. I'm just going to assume that the chat isn't working right, and I will try to refresh my stream here a few more times. Welcome, everybody. My name is Karen Gorzinski, and this is an introduction to 3 ways to book more appointments this week without spending a dime on your marketing. And let's go ahead and get started. So here are some promises I'm going to make to you this morning. First of all, I'm going to show you 3 simple and free ways to schedule more client appointments to help you create a reliable income that sustains your practice and supports a comfortable lifestyle for you and your loved ones without wasting a whole lot of time, energy, or resources. I also promise to respect your time and to provide valuable and useful information that you can start using immediately. Now, it's worth it for you to stay on to the end of this presentation because I'm also going to present some additional bonus marketing tips. And one of these that I'm presenting at the end is actually my favorite. The one marketing secret that most private practitioners pay big bucks to learn from marketing firms and private coaches is also something I'm going to cover at the end. And then I'll give you a private link to a very special discounted offer. Now, first, I want to take care of a little bit of housekeeping. We're going to be together for about the next 60 to 90 minutes, depending on how many questions we have. Go ahead and turn your cell phones off and set them to do not disturb. Close any other windows on your browser. You might slow down the flow rate of feed for other viewers, and you might get distracted. And go ahead and grab a pen and paper because you're going to want to take a lot of notes. I'm going to cover a lot of really important stuff. And be sure to ask questions and make comments in the chat box, which still seems to not be sending me any feeds. I'm checking it one more time. Okay. So that's me. My name is Karen Gorzinski. I have been working as a marketing consultant and advertising writer for about 10 years, and I've really enjoyed this work. But more importantly, for most of my adult life, I have been a devout natural health client. So let me tell you a little bit more about my backstory here. Back in 2008, I was diagnosed with chronic pain, debilitating fatigue. I had difficulty thinking, and I was very forgetful. I had no real help from the traditional medical community. They pretty much told me, here's some antidepressants and try some Advil or Aleve, and that didn't really work for me. So I went gluten-free, which worked great to a point. It helped a lot with the joint pain, but it didn't really do anything about the fatigue or that my clouded thinking. So it was time for me to ask for some more help. So I talked to my trusted chiropractor, and he referred me to a wonderful lady named Renee. She is a skilled and gentle acupuncturist, and she brought me through this course of treatments called NAET, Nabutroped's Allergy Elimination Technique. And it's a long series of treatments that kind of realigns the immune system and the nervous system to work together better. And it ended up working in more ways than I could ever have imagined. You see, one of the things I didn't share with you yet is that in those kind of 10 years that I've been struggling with the fibromyalgia, I had 4 miscarriages in a row. We had 3 young boys. They were 3, 5, and 7 years old. And we weren't really trying to have another baby, but when it happened by surprise, we were really excited. So we were devastated when we lost that first baby. And then it happened a second time, and then 2 more times within a matter of less than 4 years. So when Renee and I got to the point of our treatment where we were talking about fertility and reproductive hormones, I told her about all my troubles, and uh, that was about it. We did the treatment, and I went home, and everything went along as normal. And then about 4 weeks later, I discovered I was pregnant again. And you can imagine how scared and surprised and concerned and just unsettled we were. But 9 months later, this little baby came into our lives. This is Rebecca. She's our daughter, baby number 4. Um, and uh, I can't even really begin to describe the sense of accomplishment and achievement and peace that came over our lives when we were blessed with this child. So it really kind of turned me on my heels, and I wanted to do something different. So I thought about going back to school to become an acupuncturist, but now with 3 young boys, a new baby, and a husband that works full time, that there just wasn't enough hours in the day to make that happen. So I decided that if I couldn't become a healer, I could help the healers. And that is how Natural Flow Marketing was born. So I am a marketing coach, a consultant, and a writer, and I am dedicated to helping natural and alternative health professionals create vibrant, thriving practices by teaching them how to market their business with compassion and integrity, and also with confidence. So that's enough about me. I just wanted to share with you why I'm qualified to teach you this and why I am so invested in your success. So enough of that. Let's get on to the good stuff. I want you to take a moment to think about what life would be like if you had a calendar as full as you wanted it, whether that is seeing 10 patients a day, 10 patients a week, whatever your definition of full is. And if you never had to worry anymore about stop and go income, you didn't have to worry about dry spells because you knew that your calendar was booked in advance. And even better, if you knew how to make all of that happen without spending a ton of money on marketing, wasting your precious time, or relying on online coupon programs that, in essence, all they do is just undercut your revenues. So I do want to give you a word of caution before we go forward into these strategies. I will teach you 3 simple and very easy ways to market your practice, and I know they work in the real world, but the results are up to you, your effort, your commitment, and your follow through. Just remember though, you're no longer trying to figure all this out on your own now that you found me. So here's method number 1, client reactivation initiative. Okay, there's a lot to cover here. First thing I want you to know is that there is treasure hiding in your client files. Once a month, flip through your files and see who is coming regularly or who had an established treatment plan but hasn't rebooked for about 60 to 90 days. Send them an email, which is free, or write a personal note and drop that in the mail. That'll cost you a stamp, but it is more effective. And all you want to do with this communication is check in and see how they're doing. You might say something like, "Hi there. It's been a while since we last saw each other, and I wanted to see how you were doing with your diagnosis. I'm here if you have any questions. I have a few openings in the next week, so please give me a call so we can find a time that works for you." Very simple, very straightforward. You really are just checking in on them and want to remind them that you're there to help. Now, if they respond to that first communication, that's great. And there's probably 10 to 20% that actually will respond that very first time you reach out. Now, if they don't respond this first time, I want you to take that stack of client files and move them into a separate file, put them in a safe place. And we're going to follow up with that group of people in a few months. I'm going to tell you exactly how later. But for right now, what I want you to know is that the second time you try to reactivate these clients, you're going to include a discount offer. So you'll say something like, "Hi, Mary. I haven't heard from you yet, and I hope everything is okay. You were making such great progress with your whatever the condition or situation they had, and I'd hate to see you regress. I'd love to chat soon to see how things are going. P.S. There's a special coupon here just for you." And you make that coupon for that person match whatever they were working on with you previously. That way it's designed specifically for them. Client reactivation programs work because they rely on the relationships that you've already worked hard to build with your clients. You may not have seen them in a while, but you still have a relationship with them. You have a history. So these people have already received the benefits of your healing gifts. And it's easier to get them to rebook than it is to get a brand new client in the door. Now, marketing method number 2, networking. Before I go to the next slide, I want you to take everything that you know about networking and throw it out the window, because it doesn't have to be the chore that it is portrayed as. So networking doesn't have to be a dirty word. There are many, many, many opportunities to do this, and they work if you know how to use them. There are 4 levels of networking that I'm going to teach you about here: personal, professional, organized, and service. Now, personal networking, this is when you share what you do with your friends, your family, your neighbors, and others that you know. Don't be creepy or pushy, just make it part of the conversation. For example, make sure that your business name, your website, and your phone number are in your email signature, even on your personal email. That way, every time someone you know gets an email from you, they get a little reminder of what you do and how you could help them. When people do come to you with health-related questions, give them the information that they need, but encourage them to make an appointment. That way you can really help them. Friend and family discounts are great. I encourage them, but make sure you don't work for free. And don't be shy to ask for referrals. Share with your friends, share with your family that you're actively building your practice, and ask them if they have any friends at work, at school, at church, in their neighborhood, in other groups that they're in, that might be able to benefit from the type of services that you provide. You might be surprised at how willing and excited they are to help you grow your practice. This is one of the easiest forms of networking to make work fast, because the people you know best already have the most trust in you. Networking in a professional setting is more of the traditional type of networking. Um, you're going to make a list of all the other health professionals, healers, retailers, or service providers in your area that you might be able to refer clients to and then get referrals from. Now, remember, any kind of networking works best by reciprocity. You have to find a way to give value as often as you receive it. The goal here is to find one or more allies in your local community that you can build solid relationships with. So I want you to think back to my chiropractor. Remember, he referred me to Renee, my acupuncturist? Well, over the years that I've worked with my chiropractor, and he's more my primary care physician than anybody else, really, he has referred me to Renee, an acupuncturist. He referred me to another chiropractor in another city that did a different type of specialty that one of my children needed. And he referred me to a team of chiropractors that don't really practice chiropractic anymore. They are functional medicine specialists. And they do a lot of holistic nutrition counseling. So that one chiropractor has referred me and my family to join the practices of 4 other professionals in the area, 3 of which were other chiropractors. So if you nurture these relationships right, they can be very, very, very valuable over the long term. When you want to start one of these relationships, always be professional. Don't just show up and uh, ask to talk to them. Call them ahead of time and set up a time that you can sit together. Maybe 15 minutes is all you need, maybe like one of their consultation appointments. After you introduce yourself, always be sure to leave information with them, whether that's your business cards, a brochure, a client education sheet, whatever it is that you think will be most helpful for them to successfully convey to their clients the type of help that you can provide. And don't leave without their information. The better you work on nurturing these relationships, the more valuable they can be. Organized networking are your business networking events, your meet and greets, your meetups. And the best way to find those is to just do a Google search for business networking events in your area. You'll probably come up with 3 or 4 happening within the next few weeks. Some of these are free, some are kind of costly to join. There's a membership fee sometimes, but many of these you can attend at least once for free. When you do go, be prepared with plenty of business cards and your well-established elevator pitch. That's your like 15-second what I do statement. So here's the format that I teach people how to use. You say something like, I help, and then insert your ideal client persona to solve exactly what problem by doing what it is that you do. So, for example, someone might say, I help athletes to recover quickly after events by improving circulation and joint mobility with medical massage. Or you might say, I help people with autoimmune diseases to reduce inflammation and chronic pain with acupuncture and meditation. You want to be specific, you want to be memorable. Now, you know, there's probably more that you do in your practice than you can convey in this one little what I do statement, but you want to pick something that's very memorable and very specific. And you can change it up and tailor it depending on the type of networking event that you're participating in. So if you're with a bunch of young entrepreneurs, you would say something about stress reduction maybe, or athleticism. If you're with an older crowd or a more athletic crowd, you can kind of change how you phrase what you do to be more memorable to them. Now, if you truly do have a specialty, like if you are a pediatric acupuncturist, definitely stick with your specialty, because that's really what you want to be known for and that's what you want to do. Um, the last type of networking is called service networking. And this is when you go through service organizations in your community. This type of networking is probably not the place where you want to start because it usually takes longer to actually see the results, because service organizations are not really networking groups. But when you get hooked in with these groups, you can offer to be a guest speaker, to give a mini class or demonstration, or even to donate a raffle prize. These organizations have monthly meetings. They're always looking for people to come in and give a little presentation to their members, whether it's an enrichment type of presentation, which is what you would give, or something related to the specific topic of their service industry. And they're always trying to raise money. So whenever they have events, they need raffle prizes. So if you can put together a gift basket or a gift certificate, with some educational materials, you can give them a very valuable raffle prize, and make some connections for your business. Um, Now, you could choose to become an active member of the service organization. If you can find one that works in an area that you're passionate about, you may get a lot of satisfaction out of this. Like if it's, an organization that deals with poverty or with hunger or the homeless or educating children, helping people learn how to read. There's so many different organizations in your community. If you go looking for them, You might be surprised with how many opportunities there are. And besides getting all that satisfaction out of volunteering, you're going to build goodwill with the other members that are participating in this organization. Now, in essence, this becomes an extension of your personal networking. So something like the Rotary Club, Kiwanis, the Optimists, Lions, the JCs are some national organizations, but there are many other local opportunities. Call your local chamber of commerce, might be a good place to start. Talk to the people at your church or place of worship. Usually they're hooked in with these other service organizations. Okay, moving on to free marketing method number 3, email marketing. And I'm not talking about using your email, either your personal account or your business email account, to send communications to clients about appointments or rescheduling or individual communications. We're talking about group emailing with a professional third-party provider. And the one that I recommend is always MailChimp. They're free for the starter account, which is probably all you'll ever really need. And it's very, very easy to use. You can get an account just at their website, MailChimp.com. They have their own tutorials on their website to walk you through every step of the process. And there's plenty of other MailChimp tutorials on YouTube. Now, you may be asking yourself, why do I need an email host if I've already got email that works just fine? Well, there's a couple of important reasons. One, it makes it easy to send the same email out to all of your current and former clients at the same time, or to just select a certain group of them. It looks more professional than your personal email. And remember, your business email is fine for individual communications, like when a client emails you with a question, you're going to email that one client back. But for anything you want to do on a larger scale, it's best to use an email provider. And then don't forget about HIPAA compliance. If you are using your personal email or an individual business email account, and you want to send out a message to all 257 people that are in your files, it would be very easy to accidentally send that message in a way that everybody sees everybody else's email address, which is a HIPAA violation. When you use a professional email marketing service like MailChimp, the risk of doing that is very, very, very low. It's just an added layer of protection to help you. One of the most important reasons to conduct a scheduled, well-planned email marketing campaign is to stay top of mind with your clients. People are busy, they're distracted, and in the health industry, people have all these psychological and emotional barriers that stand in their way of their own healing. I mean, think about it. It's a lot easier to stay sick and in pain than it is to put in the work and effort it takes to get healthy and stay healthy. So if you can keep communicating, keep that line open with your clients, anybody who has ever seen you, you'll lower those barriers to health and have an easier time helping them get and stay healthy. So some of the ideas that you can use for regular communication would be a monthly newsletter. There's free templates on MailChimp. They're so easy. You just click, put your picture, write your little message, and send it. You can do seasonal sales or new product or service announcements. And MailChimp also has these quick little email messages that look almost like a postcard. It's just an image with your message and a clickable link. And they're so easy to set up and send out. You want to aim for once or twice a month. You don't want to overload people with email. It's frustrating and it takes up their time and you'll start getting ignored. But if you reach out to them once or twice a month and you actually provide some really good value to them, then they're going to appreciate what you send them. They're going to feel more connected to you. They're going to feel like you're really trying to nurture them and that you have their best interest in mind. Now, it is possible to get results with email marketing in just 1 week. Okay. If you get off this webinar with me right now, well, don't right now. If you get off this webinar with me when we're done and set up your MailChimp account right away, you can send out 2 emails very, very, very quickly and start getting results today. The first one I want you to send is called a comeback bonus. So you're going to offer this to all of your clients who came a few times in the past year, maybe 18 months, but never rebooked. Remember that file that you set aside of your client reactivation initiative and they didn't respond? These are those people. And you can go back farther into your files, like I said, a year to 18 months, and try to get them to come back into care. I want you to send another email, a separate second email, just to your current clients, giving them something like a bring a friend coupon. So buy one, get one half off, or a percent discount for both people. Now, this is not buy a service for yourself and get the same service again half off. What you're trying to get is another client in here. So it has to be tied to a friend or a relative or someone else that they bring into your care. They don't have to book their appointments back to back or simultaneously if that doesn't make sense for how you run your scheduling. But you should ask them to make the appointment at the same time. They may be, a week apart from each other. And ideally, get them to pay in advance to secure their discount. Now, if that's not possible, don't make it a deal breaker. You may not even be set up to accept payment in advance over the phone. So don't worry about that. It's better to have the appointment on the books and to have the name, phone number, and email address of that friend rather than turn them away if you can't do payment in advance. So that's two ways to dig into your client files. One, a comeback bonus to get older clients that fell out of care, get them back into care. And then your bring a friend, which will take your current clients that are currently coming and seeing you and they're on schedule with their treatment plan, and you get them to bring a friend and add a new person into your practice. So it's very possible to get good results with email marketing in a week or less. Okay, we're going to take a brain break. Stand up, stretch, get a sip of water. And I am still not seeing anything in my chat here, so I'm going to refresh the chat on my server. So bear with me for just a second while I log into my webinar host and see if I can't get the chat to come back online. Okay, I'm still here. I'm logging into my webinar dashboard right now. So we're going to show a pause screen for just a second, and I'm going to try to get this chat up and working. Okay, I hope you guys are still with me. And let's see. Yes. Okay. I refreshed the chat, and instead of trying to do that live Facebook chat, these messages are going to come to my email. So everybody that's on now, please just go ahead and send me a quick email test through this chat to say I'm here. I'll know that we have this chat up and running properly. Okay, so let's see here. I have a message that just came in from Miranda. Hey, Miranda, good. Okay, good, good, good. The chat is working. Perfect. Okay, so let's go on. Keep those questions coming into the chat, and we will finish our brain break. Okay, so what do you think so far? Have you learned anything valuable from this so far? I sure hope you have, because I know that these things that I've taught you work in the real world. Does this sound like something that you can do, something you would enjoy doing, if you knew it could give you results? I hope that's the case too. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you go ahead and send them in the chat. You may need to refresh your browser screen for this webinar in order to have the email chat show up properly. If it's still showing a Facebook enabled chat underneath the webinar video, go ahead and refresh your browser and you'll see the email spots where you can put a question in. Okay, now let's move on. All right, I have 4 bonus tips for you, and actually one of these is my favorite of all time. Outside of the types of networking that I already taught you about, you can contact other local organizations that may not be open for service volunteers, or churches, to offer to be a guest speaker or submit an article for their newsletter. Think about women's groups, men's groups, MOPS, which is mothers of preschoolers, maybe teacher staff development, senior centers, golf pro shops, gyms, diet and weight loss centers. There's so many different places that do presentations or have newsletters that you can volunteer to be part of. You can also volunteer to write articles for a local publication. Health is always a very hot topic. So if you have any like local magazines that come out either in the mail or are hand delivered to people's houses, your local newspaper, you can contact these people and see if you can write an article for a health topic that is current. You'd be surprised how many journalists would love a little bit of help. And some publications have a lot of advertisements in them, but all the articles are actually volunteer written. We have one like that in my neighborhood, which is great. There's probably 20 or 30 articles every month written by local business owners. And people read that and hang on to them. And it's a really good way to reach out to your community and to set yourself up as an expert, which is really awesome. Another thing that you can do is send out a press release to a local newspaper about an event that you're hosting, or some kind of current news event that relates to your field. Uh, it's actually very, very easy to write a press release if you just hop onto Google and type in press release template. You'll get exactly what you need to format it the right way. And then go back to middle school and think about writing a current event. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. That's basically all you need to cover. Call ahead to the newspapers that you're going to send them to and find out exactly which editor you need to send it to. That way you know the correct email address or fax number, and you know who to follow up with. You may not end up getting published as the writer of the article, but the journalist who picks up your story and decides to use it might interview you as an expert or quote something from your press release, giving you credit and mentioning who you are and what you do. Either way, again, it's about setting yourself up as an expert in your field. My most favorite way to do this is to establish a client referral program. This is my favorite marketing tip. And I don't include it in my 3 ones that are free because sometimes it takes this a little bit while to build up steam. And I want those 3 free ones to work right away. So for a client referral program, my husband and I owned a retail store several years back, and this is how we did it, and it worked like gangbusters. Um, each customer that came into the store got 3 business cards. On the front was just our standard business card, but on the back there was a little $5 off coupon, and it had like a gift tag to and from. And they would take these 3 cards, they would write their name on the from and give it to 3 of their friends or family members and write that person's name on the to line. So when their friend or family member came into the store, they would get their $5 off. I think it was like a $10 minimum purchase. And they were really excited because they saved money. And we would keep that card in a little file box with an alphabet tab system in it. And that way, when the original customer returned in, we could look them up and see if any of their referral cards came back, because then they got $5 off their next purchase of $10 or more. And they were cumulative. So if they sent us 5 new people that made purchases, then they would have $25 off, as long as their purchase was greater than $25. And our customers loved this. And it was actually so successful that our customers would come in, and before they said, "Hey, Karen, how are you doing?" they would say, "Do I have any cards in your box?" They were just so excited. Um, so if you do anything else beyond the 3 free ones that I told you, do a client referral program, because it really, really works. And it if you already have like a punch card, or get buy 5 get 1 free kind of thing, don't stop doing that. Add this on top of it. The whole idea here with the referral program is that you're not just getting the same people to come in and rebook, which is important. You're also getting new people to come in, and then you can have them on maintenance plans and encourage them to rebook. And you're expanding the number of people that you are inviting into your practice with the referral program. Now, none of this stuff that I taught you will work very well if you make this one very common marketing mistake. And many, many, many small business owners and private practitioners try to market to everybody, thinking, I have to talk to everybody so I don't leave anybody out. So they market to everybody that they could possibly help at some point in time in any one of many ways that they can help people. But this doesn't work, because when you try to talk to everyone, no one actually listens to you. You're just adding more static to an already noisy landscape. So how do you rise above this static? Through the specialization of your marketing. Now, in the past, I'm sure you've heard many people talk to you about specializing your practice, which is very good advice. If you are an acupuncturist and you want to specialize in autoimmune diseases, that gives you a very focused way to grow your skills and grow your client base. Um, but you still are able to use acupuncture to treat lots of other things. So you don't necessarily want to let all those other parts of your practice go by the wayside. The same is true for specializing your marketing. You may be a massage therapist who does all sorts of different great treatments, but if you specialize your marketing, you focus on one particular thing that you do very, very, very well, and use that kind of like as the lighthouse, the beacon to attract new clients to you. Let me explain a little bit more. So When I talk about specializing your practice, what I mean is your practice has many facets. Think about a beautifully cut diamond or emerald, right? When you specialize your marketing, it's like you focus the sun on just one facet, allowing it to shine the very brightest at that particular moment. So your marketing focuses that light to shine on just the right person, which is your ideal client. So imagine you're holding this gemstone in your hand. The sun is shining on one facet, and you gently rotate and tilt that diamond until the beam of light that's reflecting out shines exactly on the person you know you can help. That is what specialized marketing does. So your practice still possesses all of its beautiful facets. You're just going to showcase them individually, one at a time. That way, you um, reach just the right person with highly specialized marketing. So why specialize? Well, for one, you're going to spend less time and money on marketing. Number two, you're going to get better and more predictable results. Marketing becomes easier and less stressful, and you have one clear message being sent out to the people who are ready to listen. It's like rolling out a red carpet right to your door. So let me give you a couple of examples. I have one client who is a hypnotherapist, and she works with all kinds of people for different things, whether it's breaking bad habits, starting new habits, healing childhood trauma, you name it. She works on it. But the one thing that she's the most passionate about is healthy birthing. So she teaches a hypnobirthing program, and that's what she specializes her marketing is everything that she puts out there into the community is about her hypnobirthing program. And now think about what that does, okay? She knows exactly who to talk to, pregnant women. She knows where to find them, OBGYNs, midwives, and like baby stores. She then starts relationships with these women and their partners and gets to start a relationship with them, starts communication. And they learn about all the other things that she can do as a hypnotherapist. And then she can start asking for referrals. So she rolls out this red carpet to expectant mothers, but in the process, she actually is opening up doors to many, many, many other additional clients, even outside of that one specialized little area. So specializing is like the most effective way to get really great results from your marketing. So let's review. I promised to teach you valuable information that you could implement immediately. We learned a client reactivation initiative. We learned 4 levels deep in networking. And we talked about 2 methods of email marketing that you can use immediately to get quick results, and several different ideas for long-term relationship building and nurturing. I then taught you 4 bonus free marketing ideas and the secret to specializing your marketing efforts. But I'm not done yet. So I want you to be honest with yourself for a second. I know that what I've taught you is good. I know that what I've taught you works, and I hope that you love it. But how many other times have you heard marketing ideas from people that you loved and then didn't follow through on? Or maybe you tried a new marketing idea and you got stuck, confused, or overwhelmed, and maybe you even pulled the plug before seeing results. Or maybe this is your first time actually trying out this marketing thing. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not just you. This happens a lot. This happens to a lot of people, not just alternative health providers either. Many small business owners face these kinds of hurdles and challenges. But this time can be different because you have access to something that's been missing, and that is accountability. Someone to be there to journey with you by your side, to answer your questions, to help you iron out the wrinkles, to keep you moving forward, and to hold you accountable to the goals that you set. So I would like to invite you to journey with me. I want you to make a commitment to follow through on these 3 free marketing ideas and maybe 1 or 2 of those great bonus ideas. Remember, small actions can bring about big results. but you have to move forward with confidence. And you can do this now because you have a knowledgeable guide journeying right alongside you. So I want to invite you to my Journey with Me Marketing Mentorship Program. This is a 3-week live mentorship program done in small groups. We will implement the marketing strategies that you've learned here quickly and efficiently, and you'll see results fast. We meet weekly via video conference. We can interact with each other. We can even share our computer screens so we can share what we're working on. I'll ask for status updates on your marketing efforts. I'll answer any of your questions. I'll offer advice, and I can even give you technical support if you're having trouble maybe setting up your email campaigns in MailChimp, or maybe you need some help designing a client referral card. We'll share ideas, and we get feedback from each other and from all the other practitioners that are in your group. And you'll be able to bring new clients into your practice who actually respect your gifts, who value their health, and can afford to pay you what you're worth because you're marketing to them with meaning and compassion. So anything that you want to do works better if you put a little bit of skin in the game. Private coaching with me costs $150 to $250 per hour, depending on what we're working on. So if we did this one-on-one, it would cost you between $675 and $900. But since I can do this in small group settings and know that I get good results, I can reduce the cost dramatically and make it more affordable for everybody, whether you're just starting out or whether you've been in business for years. So the big question is, how much does it cost? Well, you can see right there. The entire 3 weeks, including 4.5 hours minimum of live coaching, all the worksheets, planning guides, and personalized feedback you'll ever need, and access to our session recordings for life. Anytime you need a review or refresher, it's only $195. That's a 70% savings off of one-on-one coaching with me. But there's more. When you register for this webinar, you'll also get access to my new private Facebook group, free for 6 months. This is a $120 value. It's called the Natural Flow Synergy Center. You can post questions for me and other like-minded alternative health professionals to answer and provide feedback with. You can bounce marketing ideas off of us. Each week I'll post a video lesson. For me, it's kind of like continuing education. You can also submit marketing materials and website content for me to review. And I'll also host a weekly video chat for ongoing support and mentoring. So this is an open-ended troubleshooting, check-in, see how you're doing, support video chat, in addition to the ones that you get as part of the Journey with Me program. And as long as you remain a member of the private Facebook group, you'll continue to have access to all of this. I have a second bonus for you too. I have a series of recorded classes. I call it my Marketing Masterclass, Connecting with Your Ideal Client. It's a series of 4 videos, and there's accompanying worksheets and an implementation guide. What this set of trainings does is it helps you anchor your practice in your passions and then focus on your most awesome skills and use those passions and skills together to connect with your ideal client on an emotional level with meaning and compassion. And through this course, you can create marketing messages that resonate with your ideal client's most pressing problems and then draw them to you honestly with compassion. And it's worth easily $1,000 if I taught this privately, just because of the time that goes into it. Bonus number 3 is a personalized strategy session. Once you complete your 3-week Journey with Me program and your Marketing Masterclass series, you'll have the opportunity to schedule a 45-minute one-on-one strategy session with me on the phone. We'll review your marketing plan, we'll fine-tune your strategies, we'll look at everything that you've done and develop an action plan for your next steps to keep the momentum going. And I can't really put a value on this kind of strategy session because the types of things that we can talk about and plan and build could keep clients coming into your practice for years. So that's like, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I do want to give you a 100% money back guarantee because I believe very much in the efficacy of what I'm teaching you. If you participate in the Journey with Me Marketing Mentorship Program and implement the three free strategies I taught in the webinar, and you do not book enough appointments to at least cover the $195 cost, I will gladly give you all your money back. So you have nothing to lose and a whole lot to gain. So let's recap real quick. We learned 3 free marketing strategies in detail: reactivation, networking, and email marketing. And we learned how to implement them to get results in a week or less. We debunked one of the most destructive marketing mistakes you can make: trying to market to everyone. We learned 4 additional low-cost marketing strategies, and we discussed marketing specialization. You're now invited to journey with me on this marketing quest, risk-free. And you have 3 bonuses: the private Facebook group for 6 months, the marketing masterclass, and your individualized marketing strategy session with me once you're done with those components. I want to be your marketing guide. So please join me today. And this is the link. And on your webinar page, you should see a button that has popped up that is a direct link to click right to this class registration. If it's not there, you can just type this URL into your address bar. It's and it is case sensitive, and make sure you do have that HTTPS. That means it's a secure link, so it's safe for you to put your credit card information in. And it's pfnl.co. Notice there's no M, / lowercase b, uppercase K, lowercase g, uppercase LP. It has to be done in that way. So I do want to let you know this Journey with Me Marketing Mentorship Program is taught like a class, just like an online school. So I have to limit the number of people I can have in the session. I choose 15 participants as my limit. And that's a number that's easy enough for me to handle. I know that I have the time, the energy, and the resources to make sure everyone gets the results that they deserve. It's a very small investment, just $195, for something that can have a very long-lasting dramatic effect on your future success as a practitioner. And after you register, please go ahead and put a note in that email chat, and it'll send me a message so I know that you've registered, so we can keep track of how many spots remain for this session. Keep in mind that the minimum value of everything that we're doing, the Journey with Me program, the masterclass, the Facebook page, and the private strategy session, have a minimum value of $2,020. And all I'm asking for is a little bit of commitment from you, $195. That way I know you're committed to make these things work like I know they can. So I'm going to pop over onto my email and see what kind of questions we have. So let's see here. I have an email here from Amanda, and she wants to know when the class starts. Of course, that would be a good thing to cover. So today is the 21st of September. I'm looking to start my next session the week of September 26th, which is next week, or at the very latest, October 3rd, which is the very following week. We have, I think, 18 people on the call right now. So if 15 of you want to do this and get started, we can actually get started this week. You just have to let me know. Usually once I have a full class, what I'll do is I'll send out a little survey link to everybody that's registered, and we'll work together to pick a day and a time that the most people are able to make a commitment to. If you miss a scheduled conference video chat through the Journey with Me program, that's okay. I record them and you'll get a link. That way you can still benefit from everything that we discuss and share during that link. Let's see. I am getting an email message from Charles. Charles, oh, good. Okay, so you're in Connecticut and you are an acupuncturist. And you want to know if you can start it in 3 weeks from now. Yes, actually, you can. This is not something that I only do once. Every time I get 15 participants registered, I close the session and start a wait list for the next one. I run usually one a month. That way, again, I know I'm not spreading myself too thin and I can give everybody the time that they deserve. And if my waiting list gets too long, I'll open up a second session and maybe try to run them simultaneously. So yes, you can wait 3 weeks if you want, but if you wait 3 weeks to register, it might be more like 6 or 7 before you actually get to start. Teresa, hey, great. Thanks. I'm so glad you registered. Okay, so I've got one registration. That means there's 14 left. I'll stay on the chat for just a few more minutes to see if you guys have any other questions. Let's see. Let me refresh here. Susan wants to know if I can go back a few slides. She wants to see this slide here. Not the brain break. Keep going back. The MailChimp messages. Okay, so the first one is the comeback bonus, and that's where you offer to all your clients who were coming but haven't been in about a year, maybe 18 months even. And it's if you do the client reactivation initiative, then these are the people that didn't respond the first time and anyone else that extended further back than you looked. And you offer them a little comeback bonus, whether it's a percentage off or a free, add on to one of your services, whatever makes sense for your particular practice. And that's the comeback bonus. The second one is the bring a friend coupon, and you would send this out in a separate email message. And it's different from a buy one massage, get your next massage half off or something like that, because that's keeping just the same client in your circle of influence. You want to add a new client into your database. So they physically have to have a friend or a relative in order to get the benefit. So they either, it's buy one, get one half off or a % discount for both people. And when you do the client reactivation first, and then do your comeback bonus and your bring a friend all in the same week, think about it. You're hitting all 3 segments of your client database. Your current clients, your recent inactive clients get the reactivation campaign, and then your more long-term people that haven't been in a while get the comeback bonus. So you're tapping your entire client database all in the same week, giving them a specific message that speaks to them and is designed to get them back into your care. So there's a whole lot of benefit in there. Okay, guys, we've got Chris and Christine, and then Amy have also registered. So we're up to 5. That's awesome. That's awesome. We're hitting just about an hour in our time now. Thank you guys for your time. Thank you for registering. Here's the link again if you need it. pfnl.co/b big K little g big L big P, and make sure you have that S on your HTTP. Otherwise, you won't go to the right link. We want the secure link since we're processing credit cards. We've got 10 spaces left. When you do register, you're going to be redirected to a thank you page that'll give you some other information to keep you moving along. You'll get your course materials from me within 24 hours, as well as the survey link to help us pick the day and time of our live conferences. You'll get the link to ask for an invitation to the closed private Facebook group. And I also ask you to find me personally on Facebook. That way we can tag each other in posts and when we're asking and answering questions. Make sure you do like the Natural Flow Marketing Facebook page, because I post a lot of marketing advice, tips, how-tos, important notes and messages that I find from the different professional organizations in the natural health market, news items, and lots of other stuff that you may find interesting and want to share on your own Facebook pages. Let's see here. Lisa registered. Hey, there's another one. Okay, so that means we are up to 6 and we have 9 spots left and we are hit right at an hour. If you need a little bit more time to try to decide if you want to move forward with Journey with Me, maybe you need to go balance your checkbook, make sure it makes sense for you. Maybe you have a business partner or someone else that you need to discuss this with before you make the decision to move forward. I totally understand. Write this link down. This is the link that's specially designed for this webinar, and you can register at a later date. But like I said, I can't guarantee when your session will be able to start. But as long as you use this link, I'll still include all of the bonuses as long as you register within the next 48 hours. So it's today. Today is Wednesday. That means you have until Friday, this Friday, to go ahead and register for the Journey with Me marketing mentorship. Anybody else? Questions? Let me see. Oh, here's a great question. How does the money back guarantee work? Okay. Money back guarantee. When you go through this program with me, and you participate in the Journey with Me marketing mentorship program. That's the implementation program to help you work step by step through the client reactivation, through the MailChimp email marketing, and some networking. Obviously not all 4 levels. We can't do that with any kind of quality within 3 weeks, but one type of networking. You do all 3 of those and you can show me that you've done them, right? I'll be able to see your progress when you participate in the live video chats every week. And if after you do those 3 free strategies and work with me and show me that you're really putting in the effort, if you do not book enough appointments from those efforts to at least cover the $195 cost, you call me. And we'll work out the refund. I'm so confident that these methods work because I've seen it work and I know that they work. And if your billing rate is, on average with like $75 an hour, $65 an hour, you really only need to get 3 appointments on your books to cover the cost of this whole program. If that doesn't sound doable to you, don't try it because it is completely doable. And I mean, only 3 appointments is easy. You can have that result in one day just after doing the client reactivation and the MailChimp with the 2 separate messages. If you send those 3 messages out to your entire client database, I can't see how you would not book at least 3 appointments out into the next 4 weeks or so. So you really do have nothing to lose and a whole lot to gain. Thanks for asking about that one more time. Okay, so I promised to respect your time. We're now 4 minutes over my 1 hour. I don't have any new questions that have come into the chat, and we've registered 6 people, which is fantastic. I can't wait to start working with you and getting to know you better. So let me go one more slide. Here's that link again so you can register, and here's my email address. If you have any questions at all, you can direct an email right to me at Karen@naturalflowmarketing.com, and I will be happy to help. So we're going to end this stream now. The recording will be available for the next 48 hours, and I'm here if you have any questions. So thank you so much.